Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Rumors of Heresy. My name is Zareth, and we've got another battle report for you today. This is the second match of an RTT that I recently went to in preparation for the Rocky Mountain Open, which is going to be happening in less than a week now, and which is exciting. I'll be making reports for that as well. This is against GT winner, the most recent GT winner in our area. He won in January, and it's a crazy match, guys. I am really excited to show it to you. So just remember to hit that thumbs up button, like, subscribe, comment, all those things to help us mount the algorithm, please, if you don't mind, folks. So this is for a 30-person RTT. That's bigger than a lot of GTs that are floating around right now. It's pretty crazy. It's at Hobbytown. That picture wasn't taken by me. I stole it from the internet brazenly. It wasn't kind. No, it wasn't unkind. Here's my army. The army's kind of unkind in the sense that it's not all the way cohesive in the painting. The Predator in the top left was painted by myself about 11 to 12 years ago as part of a Blood Angels army. A 6 Predator Blood Angels army in 6th edition. It was crazy, guys. Back then, absolutely nuts. Now we've got lots of vehicles as well. Here, I'll turn my face off for just a sec so you guys can see it, alright? There it is. It's not a lot of Marines. The other model on this army that I painted is Vulkan, actually. He's also a very old model. He's the only pewter model that I use in this army nowadays. So, yeah, if you're wondering how this army looks so amazing, take a minute to listen to this. By the way, folks, huge shout out to my painting guy for this army. You guys have probably noticed how lovely the army is that he's painted. I pay him to he does such a good job. I'm constantly getting compliments, and I have to tell him, no, I'm not the guy who does it. It's a commission painter, and he is doing a deal right now where he'll paint a vehicle for you for $50, which is pretty nice. Really a good deal. An amazing deal, in fact. And you should give it a look, guys. I mean, everyone, we've all got things we need to do, and vehicles can be very time consuming, very challenging to paint, and for $50 he'll paint a vehicle for you, maybe more. If you just reach out to him, go to his Instagram page. It's going to be linked in the video description. Frog and Bear Studios, folks. Go check him out and give him a ring. Hit him up. And he's $50 for this level of painting on vehicles. It's very nice, a really good deal. Please, guys, take advantage of this. Do yourselves a favor. It's you won't regret it. It's truly a great service. So, with that, let's jump back into it here, folks. Frog and Bear Studios in the video description. Okay, so here's my list, folks. This is what I took. I've been doing well with it. It kind of started off as kind of just a practice list, a kind of a joke list, because I didn't have my Ultramarines models available because they were being painted, and I was tired of using proxies. So even though I had to use a couple proxies, decided to use Salamanders characters and models, and this is what I ended up with. I kept winning by a pretty decent margin against pretty good players, and decided we should try this for the RTT and see what happens. And so this is the result, folks. This is after some incremental changes and stylistic updates to the list, this is what we ended up with. And I've only played Orks one other time though, so I wasn't sure if this list was going to do any good with it. Here's the Ork list, by the way. It's a lot of boys, 20 boys, and then 20 more boys and 20 more boys, and each of those have a pain boy, so they'll have a 5-up field, or 5-up field no pain from the pain boy, and a 5-up invuln save, because the green tide detachment. Now my opponent won a 6-round GT just a couple months ago. I think I just referenced that. Really good player. He's one of the best players in our area, and So, and he used this list, or I don't know if it's exactly this list. He used a Green Tide Orks list in that January GT as well. And it's a 100-person GT. You have to win 6 games to do it. So, very good player. I've only played against Orks once. I did have the battle report for it, or I made a battle report for it, and it wasn't pretty. I managed to squeak out a couple points against a Bully Boys list that I was totally unprepared for. And this list is kind of... You'll see, folks. It's a crazy match. So let's get into it, shall we, folks? All right. So here's our deployment, folks. I'm actually gonna go second for the first time with this list, maybe ever. I'm not sure if there's a time I've gone first or second with it. I've always gone first. I just keep winning that roll off, which is just such a weird thing, but. You can see he deployed very aggressively. He's right on the line. A couple of these, and it's a lot of bodies, folks. Like 20 models doesn't sound like a lot, but in reality it's 22, and they can regrow themselves, very similar to Necron warriors, and with a stratagem, and they have a once per game thing that they can regrow members of their squads. And Gazgahal is huge. He looks like a dreadnought. Dear Lord. There's another squad of 20 back here. Here, let me show you. I'll show you the all the stuff. Now he did deploy everything on the board, which it's fine. I mean, he won a GT with this list or something very similar, so I'm sure he knows what he's doing. You typically just expect people to have something in reserves. He didn't have anything though. So he's got Gazgahal with Makari and a couple Mega Knobs. He's got Gretchen to go take that expansion objective, and then he's just got those big blocks of Orc boys. He's also, one thing I didn't note here, folks, is he's got Snikra in one of those trucks and a Weird Boy in the other, and they can just redeploy. They kind of just deep strike themselves all over the board if they want to. So he's got that going for him as well. And otherwise, I mean, it's kind of an overwhelming number, especially because he's gonna go first. So here's how I deployed, and I'll say right now, this isn't really the right way to address this list to try to figure out how to beat it. I put the incursors right here. You can't quite see them behind the building, and they scouted up, and it's almost, you'll see, guys, I almost just made it perfect for him. Like, it gave him a perfect first turn. And okay, here's another thing, guys. I cheated a tiny bit accidentally. I thought I did the math right. I did it afterward, discovered I was 10 points off. So I put an extra Predator Destructor in reserves, which was, first of all, pretty dumb. It wasn't smart of me, as you'll see, but the Predator Destructor put us over the edge of strategic reserves by 10 points. Because of the new points changes, I just didn't remember that I would be over by just a little bit. So I have 510 points in strategic reserve. And then my deep strike with Gempack Intercessors and the Storm Speeder, don't mess with that number. They're their own separate thing for reserves, but it was a little bit off, and I do apologize for that. I really had no idea, and honestly, the whole time I kept wishing I hadn't put that extra Predator in. The idea was I wanted that Predator to just come in strategic reserves over here. Instead of starting on the edge, right where this Impulsor is, I wanted him, and then he would actually go up here, and then on turn 2, he'd go over here and finally be able to shoot. I figured, well, why not just cut out the middleman, so to speak, and have the Predator come in over on this side on turn 2, and then he'll have the same line of sight. Now, this was foolish of me for several reasons, but or rather, it was just inexperienced. I just didn't know what the heck I was doing. So, anyways, here's the photo before the madness begins, folks. And let me just say one thing real quick, folks. It's gonna look like I'm losing the whole time, and maybe I do lose. I'm not saying that I win this match. I am gonna say this game turns around at some point, even when it seems like it's impossible. And the question is, can I race enough to erase the crazy deficit I'm under? Because I just don't want you to watch this and think, oh, he's gonna lose, I'm gonna turn it off. I've done that before in battle reports, and it's an interesting game, folks. It's interesting all the way to the end. So don't turn it off till the end, please. Don't forget to like and subscribe. So he gets turn 1. He gets containment and secure no man's land. Gosh, what? I mean, people say that area denial is and secure no man's land is the perfect combo, and on turn 1 going first, and that's probably true. But man, you get more points for containment turn 1, and you actually have the models to do it on turn 1 usually. So super nice. Really, I was like, man, I'm already super intimidated by this army, and to some extent this player, he's a really nice guy, but he's still a really good player, and I've only played him once, and it was with a kind of a goof off list for him, so it wasn't too serious of a thing. So here's the start, folks, and I'm just gonna say this. If you can avoid your opponent who has mostly just charges to do, probably don't give him like a nice little stepping stone, like ladder to get into your zone super far, because he can go over here, kind of get close to the scouts without even advancing, and then charge the scouts, and then if he rolls big enough, he can also get into the incursors that are right there, and as you'll see in just a minute, he can get even farther. It's actually pretty crazy. So are you ready? Blink and you'll miss it, folks. Here we are. The scouts are dead. The incursors are dead. The building that was blocking all of them, also dead. No, we just removed it for a little bit because it was kind of getting in the way of all of his models. We didn't really need the representation as long as we had the little footprint thing. But look at how far he was able to get with all of his stuff, guys. He even got the charge on my combi lieutenant, who I had foolishly thought he was totally out of reach for him. I didn't think he could, and that actually comes into play in a little bit, as you'll see. He got into melee with the combi lieutenant. Combi lieutenant didn't do anything. Scouts didn't do anything. Incursors did use their haywire grenade and rolled a 1 and didn't kill anything. So nothing happened, except the combi lieutenant did live because he only was able to get a couple orcs into him. But you can see there's 2 different distinct orc squads. You can see there's actually just a line that you can draw in between them, and he had it modeled as a squad with like a bunch of choppas versus a bunch of guys with axes, which they all had the same stuff on them, but I appreciated that the models were distinct enough that we could actually tell. But you can see this line between the 2 different squads, and gosh, he got into my like expansion objective on turn 1 on search and destroy. What a crazy thing. I mean, it was me being foolish in my deployment that got him there, but what a crazy thing. His other squad of orc boys are here. Gazgahal is here hiding in the ruins, and I've got like nothing to shoot them with, kind of. Not all the way nothing, but like, I would really love to have my second squad of Infernus Marines right now. I would really love to have another Predator or 2, or another Ballistus for that matter. We've got 1 Predator down here. You can barely see like some of the sponsons on it, but yeah, he also was able to get containment. He got containment on this guy here, and I think he had either Snickrot or a Weird Boy over in this corner who was able to do it on the objective. So he got secure no man's land, easy peasy, and he got to charge and eat 2 of my squads, get into a really nice position against me on turn 1. So I rolled Containment and Storm Hostile. Now, I could have re-rolled Storm Hostile if I wanted to, since it's the first round, but he already owned my expansion objective, and if I was going to have any hope at all of winning, I was going to need to take that objective this turn anyways. I also got Containment, but it's less useful than you might think. Well, that was stunning. Gosh. Oh man, I just didn't think he could get all the way into that part of the board. Totally miscalculated. Absolutely stunning. And now it's time to push the panic button. The Blade Guard, who I usually never want to come out before turn 3. Usually I would say it's a loss to do it. before turn 3, if we have to get Blade Guard out, we have no choice. We have zero choice. They have to get out right now. It's very impressive, by the way. The Orks, I didn't think they had it in them. That's very aggressive. I wasn't expecting it at all. This is why we play games, however. Gotta get some XP. So we've got Storm Hostile and Containment. And we've got to take that objective we just got to do it, guys. Got to take that objective. We got to kill as many of these boys as possible. They are, in some ways, it was good he got this far in because all of my guys are now able to participate in fighting orcs, which is good. The bad thing is we can get containment pretty easily with the Impulsor by moving up here, getting it on this table edge. And then if the Combi Lieutenant wasn't in melee, if he wasn't in engagement range, he could go over here and do containment on this side. But he's in engagement range. He's going to fall back, but he can't do actions once he does that, even if he's in Tactical Doctrine, which I can't do Tactical Doctrine. I have to go into Assault Doctrine so that the Blade Guard can get out of their Impulsor and go and charge. So the idea here, folks, is when you're fighting Green Tide, another thing you got to look out for, which I didn't know about, but my opponent told me beforehand, which I appreciated. If you shoot them, they have a Blood Surge as well. Remember how that Khorne Demon army in the last game already, they had a Blood Surge as well. The Orks do too, and so the idea here, folks, is we're only going to charge this squad up here, and the squad of Choppas. The squad of axes we're gonna try shooting to death, and that's really what's gonna have to happen. So have to keep the Infernus guys 7 inches away from them, have to keep everyone 7 inches away from the axe boys, and then we'll have Vulkan and the Blade Guard charge in, and without shooting at all, charge in and do what they can do against all of these boys, and see if we can maybe salvage something of it. So here's a quick snapshot of what it looks like after the fact, and let's zoom in a little bit here though. So first off, over here, I think we have a better picture actually. Hold on a sec. Yeah, we do. So here, this is a kind of awkward side picture, but it's showing behind this building that's getting in the way of visibility. So here's what happened, folks. The Combi Lieutenant just backed away. The Blade Guard got out. They advanced 5, which was nice. They got the charge on the Orc boys. The Vulkan squad, so Vulkan targeted the squad of axes, and the Infernus were able to shoot them. Well, we'll show you guys the results of that in just a minute. And then what ended up happening, I charged Vulkan in, and I kind of botched things a little bit. First off, the Impulsor did containment. All right, we need the points at this point. Even as early as turn 1, so he did containment, but everything else shot into the other squad. When we charged in with the Blade Guard and Vulkan, I went first with Vulkan squad because we have a character with precision. Now, I didn't realize it at the time, but I guess it's true. I needed to declare that I was going to spend a CP on using precision on a heroic challenge, whatever it's called, on Vulkan, so that Vulkan could, we wanted to kill the weird boy, the pain boy. The pain boy gets rid, or gives out feel no pains to the squad of 5 up. We don't want that. So the idea was between the champion, who has a natural ability with precision, and Vulkan, we could chop the pain boy out. I rolled for the champion and only caused 2 wounds on the pain boy. And then I was going to have Vulkan then do it, and my opponent rightly called me out and said, no, you had to declare that before you started your attacks with the squad. So that was my bad, and it made me feel dumb. So Vulkan killed like 1 orc or something. He was rolling like crazy. The Blade Guard jump in. With the extra CP I have, I give them Lance so that they're hitting on They're hitting on 3s with reroll 1s, because that's what I gave them this time, not reroll failed 1s on their invuln save. Instead, they get failed 1s to hit, and they do a number to the orcs. I think there was only 7 boys left, something like that, but it wasn't that much. It wasn't as much. You can see the pain boy here has 1 wound left, and then the pain boy turned around and does 4 mortal wounds to Vulkan. He almost just one-shot Vulkan, because apparently he has precision and he just hits characters super hard, and you just roll a d6 and that's how many mortal wounds he does to a character. Just madness. I had no idea he could do that. I almost just sniped him out, and if I had killed him, I think the Blade Guard might have wiped the whole squad, but I was a little bit stupid and didn't let that happen. So otherwise, the other shooting went pretty well. The Infernus Marines rolled really nicely on their Burnination roll, and I think they on their own killed 13 boys. And then everyone else, I had the Intercessors. We put out the moment on that squad. The Ballistus was able to get a bunch of hits in. The Intercessors got some shots in. Everyone contributed. Even Vulkan burninated a few of them. The Heavy Bolter did some damage, and all of them died. The Predator actually... they were all gone before the Predator shot, and so I was like, dude, okay, this is awesome. We still have all the moment on both characters. Let's kill the war boss. Let's do it. So I shoot him, and he passes. I do a ton of wounds to him because I'm wounding on 2s. He rolls 9 invuln saves. I don't remember if he has a 4-up or a 5-up, but they were all 5-ups, so it didn't matter. And he didn't take a single wound, folks. It wasn't an armor save. It was an invuln save of either a 4 or a 5-up. And he didn't take a single wound from the Predator. Just an incredible roll. 9 in a row, folks. 9. He only needed to fail 2. If he fails 2 of any of them, he dies. And instead, he lived, and that was that. So what we got 6? Yeah, I shot my hunter killer as one of them. That was, I was like, we're just gonna kill him no matter what. So we got all hits, all wounds, 6 shots with the Predator autocannon, 2 with las cannons, 1 with the hunter killer, and then I shot the storm bolters as well, and they even caused one, and he passed that too. So that feels bad. Didn't kill the quote unquote should have killed him, but didn't, and now he's about to just totally destroy something valuable to us. So I got 7 points. He got 11. Doesn't look that bad on the surface until you realize he's going to score 2 on primary, and there's just no way I'm going to score 2 on my primary. So on his turn 2, he gets Assassination of behind enemy lines, which are just perfect for him as well, because he's going to get so many guys behind my lines, even in table quarters. So here's what the board looks like beforehand. Take special note of where Gaz is. Here I'm pointing at it with the red green arrow, and of where the boys are, the second squad of boys. Also keep in mind they were down to 7 here, and or maybe it was even down to 6. It was and then he rolled up, and he rolled it, and he used a stratagem and everything, and those boys suddenly had another, what, 7 or 9? I think it was 7 more boys that showed up. Yeah, see, there's more. They got reinforcements. And more than that, he had the truck that was right here. It had 5 flash gets and 6 tank bustas in it. They all got out and were able to charge in and do their thing. And then the truck backed out, just to support back here, I guess, to stay out of the way so that he could put his dice tray down, I guess. And then look at those boys that were over here. He declares the WOG, and then he charges in, and you can see he's on the objective here. So let's see, do we have it more zoomed in? A little bit. So yeah, you can see the tank busters are here. And I think they charged and killed, they shot the Blade Guard. Was it the Blade Guard? They shot someone, killed some of them, killed some of whatever they shot at, and then charged and killed the Combi Lieutenant, which if I had been smart, I could have just reactive moved him away. And I just wasn't thinking. It was it was tragic, honestly. My lack of brains in some parts of this game. Couple things here. You can see the arrows. I did think of this, and that this was the thing that ends up helping us quite a bit. I rapid ingressed the 10 jump intercessors right here, like almost the only spot they could go in the quarter that wasn't just totally blocked by my opponent. You can see the deployment zone template is exactly 9 inches long. So he deep struck his Snickrot to be in the corner here so that he could do actions, which I thought was probably smart of him. That got him big behind enemy lines. Not behind enemy lines. It just, I forget what it got him, folks. It got him something awesome, I'm sure of it. And then, because he had the Wog, he was able to hit the Blade Guard, and I think he killed 3 of them. Maybe he killed 4 of them, just on the Wog, casually. He was also able to kill Vulkan, who only had 1 wound, and he charged, and I think he precisioned him out, something like that. He also managed with his war boss that I didn't manage to kill. He managed to kill off one of my, or most of my Burnination squad, the Infernus Marines. So, just a tragic state of affairs, folks. I killed all but the company champion, actually, with his squad. Maybe it was just the Pain Boy who killed Vulkan, I don't know. But one way or another, he did manage to kill Vulkan and most of the company heroes. The champion has 2 wounds left, and I guess a couple of the Infernus Marines are still barely alive. He also managed to, he got his boys out here, and there was a truck that was a little farther up. They had range, they shot the Ballistus Dreadnought, and I think they didn't quite kill it, but then the boys over this big 20-boy squad that hasn't been touched yet charged and killed the Ballistus, killed 3 of the Intercessors. The Intercessors, they were okay-ish, not the greatest. They weren't the happiest, but they didn't get killed off entirely. So that was good, because they have 4 OC left on this objective, and he's only got 2 models that are actually on the objective, so we can actually still hold it. The only saving grace the whole turn, folks, was Gazgahal tried to charge. He needed like a 7 or an 8 to charge the Predator, and he failed it. But the only time any opponent this entire tournament failed a charge was Gazgahal charging this Predator. Lucky Predator. He just gets to stare death in the face. Don't worry, Predator. You'll be dead in a moment. Oh, look, I even have arrows showing. Just remarking on this momentous occasion. Just such a cool thing. So, gosh, so he's on my home objective here, guys. He can burn my home objective if he wants. If he gets close enough, if he kills enough of my stuff, which we only have 2 intercessors to stop him right now, folks. It's not a lot. Over here, we're completely overrun by a renewed squad of orc boys that are like 13 or 14 strong right now. He's got 20 boys right here. He's got Gaz coming in for the kill on my objective. The Grots started burning this objective as well, I think. I think it was this turn that they started burning it. Maybe it's next turn. But I roll my secondaries and get engage on all fronts and recover assets, which are just totally worthless for our situation. I don't have CP available to reroll. I need that CP super bad. He's got 30 points. We've got 12 because we're holding our home objective just barely. Gosh, what a crazy thing. This is just totally out of control, folks. What the heck is going on? Our secondaries are cooked, but he's running away with this crazy score. We have no way to even hope to stop anything that he might do in his expansion objective area. Gazgahal's coming for the knockout punch. We've got nothing, but what we do have are our erstwhile reserves that needed to be on the board earlier, I think, but they're here now. Apparently, so if we can make the most of that, maybe we could salvage something, some small measure of self-respect in this game. The secondaries are just killer though, folks. We needed something different than that. So, They're all in their WOG, which means they're going to be tougher to kill this turn. But we've got it to do. We've got to do it, folks. So let's, I guess, jump in, shall we? So, wordless secondaries acknowledged. Here's your brain. Here's your brain on drugs. I guess this is more. Yeah, this is definitely on drugs. It's not good, folks. Not feeling good at all. So. At the end of my turn, you can see, however, things have shifted a little bit. Oh yeah, the Infernus Marines, I guess, are still mostly intact. Good job for Infernus Marines. So the Blade Guard charge into the Flash Gits and into the Tank Bustas. Adrax kills 4 of them on his own, and the Blade Guard managed that. There's only 2 of them left, but they kill both or all of the Flash Gits because Flash Gits only have 2. They only have 2 wounds each, and they don't have feel no pain, so chop them into little pieces. Adrax hanging out there with the Tank Bustas did pretty good. Now, I did have the Jump Intercessors jump in, and I think this, yeah, they were able to get enough wounds going. Like I think this is I put them with Lance. I gave them Lance this turn, and so they're +1 to wound. And between them and the Infernus Marines and the Blade Champion, they managed to actually kill the entire rest of this squad that was up here. The Impulsor got a few good shots off as well, because what else is the Impulsor gonna do? And so we killed. There's 2 Orc squads now that are just gone. We killed the Pain Boy. We killed the War Boss from the other squad. So all of the original 2 Orc squads are just gone. They're just gone. The Jump Intercessors somehow lost 0 of their number. They just charged in, got some good impact hits, and wiped them out. Just wiped those smelly Orcs right out. I think the Champion was able to chop out. I think he went first and killed the Pain Boy. And then they didn't have Feel No Pain anymore. I think that was the big turning point, because no Feel No Pain is a fairly big deal for that squad. So good job, good on you, Champion. I'll use Vulkan better next time. I'll do better next time with the combination of Vulkan and the Champion. We can kill the Pain Boy. We'll do it next time. Now, we measured it actually, folks. None of my reserves could come in anywhere but here, on the very edge of my own deployment zone in my own little corner. But in they all came. We got the Speeder, 2 more Predators, Ballistus Dreadnought, and 5 Infernus. The Infernus were all in range to hit his War Boss. Now, this was kind of a mistake by my opponent, I think, because he had his War Boss and the Pain Boy here, which means we can target them, and he can't allocate wounds to them. He has to allocate it to the rest of the squad. Putting Oath of Moment on them, there's a full 20-boy squad. I didn't kill a single one of them beforehand, but these guys have a lot of shots, and after a lot of shots, we also have that Predator that didn't get destroyed by Ghazghkull. After all those shots, you'll note that the War Boss and the Pain Boy are all that's left of that squad. They kind of just slurped that squad up like they were spaghetti. It was delicious and amazing. And so killed them all. Another similar thing happened. We tried to kill the War Boss. He made a bunch of saves. Didn't quite kill him. So unfortunate that. But we've killed 3 full Orc squads. He's just got the War Boss and the Pain Boy left. And in a minute, you guys will see. I don't think I have a graphic for it, but he moves his War Boss and the Pain Boy, and I decided to overwatch with the Infernus and just kill the Pain Boy, because I wasn't sure. The War Boss is tough 6, I think, and so I was like, I probably won't kill him, but maybe we can kill that Pain Boy, and we did. The Pain Boy died pretty good, especially with Oath of Moment on him, +1 to wound. We got him. So it's just the War Boss left, And of course, he still has Gazgahal, but things are looking a little bit better. He still has a lot of stuff, though. Gosh. So there it is, folks. I scored 0, however, and he's up to 30. Going in his round, he's up to 40 because he holds his home objective and the expansion objective. This is, I guess, it's next turn that he starts burning his objective. He gets cleanse and engage on all fronts, which engage on all fronts also a pretty easy one for orcs to be able to get the max on, and cleanse he can get that for probably max banners. So. I mean, gosh, he's just getting so many points here. And okay, so here's what it looks like beforehand. I'll say that so he passed his leadership, his battle shock test on the tank bustas. He actually passed every single time he had to pass any kind of test. He passed it pretty easily. So the tank bustas, they're good to go. And as I said, I think it's the Pain Boy who just gets removed by the Infernus Marines. Yeah, but the War Boss is still there. He wants to hold on to this objective, though. And Gazgahal also, well, here, let's fast forward this just a little bit. We'll talk about Gaz in just a minute. So first off, he gets out his squad of 10 flash gets, and I forget what they shoot. They were shooting something. It was pretty impressive, I think. I don't actually remember what it was though. What they shot. Oh, they removed the intercessors. Yeah, I think they removed those. So that was disappointing and sad for the intercessors, but I mean, he needed them to go because the intercessors were going to get destroyed anyways pretty soon, and he wanted it so that I couldn't score this objective. That was the big thing. The intercessors were on the objective. He didn't want me to get the objective, so that was it. He deleted them. Gazgahal charges the Predator, and like I said before, he deleted it, and then he consolidated into the Infernus Marines, who got some hits back and did nothing, which is fine, I suppose. And he also destroyed his own objective, which I have nothing to do about that. There's just no way I can do anything about that at all, unfortunately. He's just going to get it done if he wants to. So for my turn, I get cleanse and no priz, which is actually, those are kind of doable, at least. No priz is my goal every round anyways against this orc team. So cleanse might be a little more challenging, but we could at least score this turn, thank goodness. So things are maybe looking a little bit better. The score, even after I score primary, the score is 53-17, folks. That's a lot. That's a lot of elite. I have almost no points. I've killed a lot of boys. I've killed 60 boys. And some flash kits and most of the tank bustas. And I have 17 points. And that includes primary through turn 3. And he still has Gazgahal and a whole big squad of flash kits. He's still got some trucks. He's still got Gretchen scoring on objectives. He's deleted his own object. Like, but okay, but some of the momentum has shifted at least, right? Like we can do some stuff now. Maybe like, how much can we do? That's the real question. How much can we do? Is it too late? I mean, this is why it's an interesting game, because the momentum has maybe shifted a little. Can I actually use that momentum enough in this game? I really don't know. This is a huge hole to dig out. Like, almost insurmountable. Maybe insurmountable. Let's see. So here we are, folks. Cleanse and no prisoners. 53-12. Of course, I'm going to score 5 for primary. And it's not the primary on my home objective. It's primary on this top objective that I somehow still hold, the expansion objective. So thank goodness for that. And I mean, there's a lot to do, folks. He's got the war boss here, he's got Gazgahal here, he's got flash gits and a truck, and he's got those tank bustas, he's got this truck over here, he's got Gretchen holding objectives. It is crazy. The only way I really get into this is if I start burning objectives and kind of catch up and stop letting him score anything on primary. So we put the Moment onto Gaz's squad because that's the squad that's by far the most menacing right now. And then yeah, we're able to kill all but Makari on that zone. And I'll just tell you right now, we even killed this war boss, I think. I don't know if I used a red X for that, but he is gone as well. So all of these tanks shooting are actually pretty good, especially with the Moment. They work out pretty nicely. Take them out. The Infernus Marines, of course, they just have to run away as best they can, and Gaz doesn't get the blood surge thing, I guess. So we escape that, and that's good. So I did get a Predator to get onto this objective as well, so that we can hold it. We can hold the objective if we kill the war boss, which then we did kill it. So that's great. Good for us. Good deal. And then the jump intercessors. So first off, the company champion comes up here and just charges the truck so that the truck can't be part of any part of the fighting. Then the jump back intercessors come on in, and I believe that they used Lance again. Maybe they got Assault Doctrine. No, the Adrax squad actually got Assault Doctrine. You'll see why. But the jump intercessors jump in, and with their impact hits and their 39 attacks, 3 of which are power fists, managed to kill all of the flash gits, which is great. That's a wonderful thing. It's beautiful even. It's lovely. I think they used some bolt pistol shots here. I don't remember exactly, but one way or another they did take out that squad. And then they also so they got onto the objective. They didn't consolidate back into the truck though, because I didn't feel like I needed to. The Adrax squad here, who has 2 Blade Guard and Adrax, they got Assault Doctrine. They got 6 inches or something like that for their advance, and they charged the truck. They needed like a 6 or 7, and killed the truck because Adrax is a boss. And so now they're like in my opponent's deployment zone, basically. And my opponent suddenly doesn't have much. He has Makari, which we eventually overwatched to death. He has this truck, which is engaged with the company hero. And he's got a couple squads of Gretchen. And that's what he's got left. And we've got Adrax and boys in his deployment zone. We've got the jump intercessors on this objective as well, and we've secured our own objective. Makari, I didn't think could do that much, and eventually we just overwatched him to death, so that was cool. But we also got cleanse on our objective on the bottom, or on the top, because I had the Impulsor go and do that. So he cleanses. Wonderful. That's pretty awesome. 5 for no priz, because we easily get it with killing the Mega Knobs, killing, I guess Gaz wouldn't count as one, killing the Flash Gits, killing the War Boss, and I guess maybe it wasn't that. Oh yeah, and another truck. So we got 4 of them. He got 15 primary though, because he burned that objective. So still 53 to 24. We have 2 turns left to overcome this, like 30-point deficit basically. He gets extend battle lines and recover assets, which is great. He's already burned his objective, and he can't hold any other objectives, guys. He can't do it. The tank busters did try to kill the Impulsor that had gotten onto this objective, and I don't have any more photos, guys. I'm sorry to say that the game was winding down. We didn't have enough time. And so the Impulsor was on here. The tank busters didn't quite manage to kill the Impulsor, which was good because I didn't have any other models available. I actually could have had the Infernus Marines come over here, I think, and just burninate them. I don't know why I didn't do that. I think they were just out of my line of sight, actually, and forgot to do anything with them. But he couldn't really do anything. He moved his Grots up here. He did use his Weird Boy ability to land a model here in the corner so that he could do recover assets in no man's land, which I thought was an interesting choice. We were both under a lot of clock pressure, so he starts doing recover assets over here, thinking, I think he was just like, well, he can't possibly get to me over here, so I'll just do it there. I think, he could have just done recover assets here in this corner, and it would have been equally, or even more than equally, like, unreachable. So he could have done that, but he didn't. So there it is. And so we're waiting on his recover assets and whatever the other thing he did. I get behind enemy lines and establish locus, which that's pretty good for what I want to do here, because we already have Adrax in the back zone, basically, so he can just establish locus. And the goal now, of course, we got to burn his objective, his home objective. Like that's we have Adrax way up here. So Adrax and company get kind of close to the objective, and then they, instead of getting onto the objective or attacking the Grots who have backed way up, they instead do establish locus here, which I don't know if that was wise or not. I just figured if the Grots try to block them off of the objective, which he eventually does do, spoiler alert, he tries to block me from getting onto the objective so I can't burn it on my turn 5, but he doesn't realize that, like, the thing that he doesn't realize, I think, is I have an Overwatch with Adrax that can just wipe them out. So anyways, we have a couple of doable things. Behind enemy lines, establish locus. He has Makari that's been burninated. He was overwatched. He's got the tank bustas who are contesting this objective, actually, annoyingly, because they charged the Impulsor. They can't kill the Impulsor. Impulsor can't kill him. And we need all the... we're just moving as rapidly as we can here now, because the game's about to end. So, Adrax and company come over here, establish locus. The jump intercessors start burning this objective. And remember, this objective doesn't exist at all. He already burned it. And I move a couple tanks up here. One of them's already on here, so it's easy enough to poke out and shoot the truck, killing the truck. Yay, we killed the truck. It's dead. The wicked truck is dead. And so we score behind enemy lines for the small one with Adrax, and burn this objective, which was great, much needed. So they're still ahead by 12 going into this turn. He didn't score on recover assets though, because, here, let me back up. He had landed his weird boy in the corner here so that he could score a recover assets, and the storm speeder, you can see the building's kind of in the way because it's supposed to be on one of these footprints, but the storm speeder moves here and just shoots the weird boy. Boop, kills the weird boy, easy peasy. I think I only needed to roll the first 3 shots, kill the weird boy, and from there it's a pretty simple matter of just he doesn't score recover assets, so he gets extend battle lines, which he can't do that one either. And let's see. Oh yeah, so he gets storm hostile objective. He can't do that one. And I ended up getting area denial, which he didn't have anything in the middle. Easy enough for me to get that. The Grots try to get onto the objective, and I just burninated enough of them. I think Adrax got like 7 shots or 8 shots with his flamer, and it's 8p1, so he doesn't get armor anyways, and it wounds on 2s. So roasted most of those Gretchen, and then the Blade Guard were able to easily get onto the objective and burninate it. I think the jump intercessors on turn 5 also were able to jump over and kill the rest of those Gretchen to make sure that they couldn't contest the objective at all. And I got extend battle lines, area denials for 10 on secondaries. He didn't score anything on his last couple turns, I believe, and I think that because he was forced to keep extend or recover assets. And the final score, guys, was with our painting score. I ended up with an 86 somehow, because burning his objective was worth 20, or was worth 10, and then I scored 10 on objectives and stuff. So huge swing. That, like, I ended up getting 35 on my final 2 turns of on primary, and ended up beating him. One thing I should note was we were actually, initially it was going to just be, okay, well, you know, it looks like I was going to win on turn 4, or on turn 5, but we couldn't quite finish turn 5. And so I was reluctantly like, okay, look, I think you win because we couldn't finish turn 5 in time. You had this better score on going into turn 5, so you get it. And so we turned it in and everything. He was going to win, and then he was like, you know what, I gotta drop. I'm not feeling that great. I gotta leave. So he left, and the TO, who was like, oh, okay, well, he'd been watching the whole thing. It was really close to his table. He's like, well, you were gonna win on turn 5 anyways, right? I was like, yeah, I mean, like, pretty much for sure gonna win. So he actually just changed it because the guy was dropping anyways, and changed it to a win for me because I think I did earn the win. I think our clock issue was unfortunate. I should have made him use a clock. Though to be fair, I think it was me who took longer than him, even though he had way more models. Anyways, got the win. Whew, crazy stuff, folks. Crazy stuff. So just wow. The final of this game, I'm still just not over it, really. I mean, what a crazy thing to be down by that many points in the mid game. Just down by like 30 points after turn 3, and somehow coming back from it was just kind of crazy. I mean, I wasn't getting good secondaries, and I played fairly poorly at the very start because I just didn't know what to expect. Lack of experience. What a crazy result. I should say also, folks, my opponent was great. He gave a lot of good tips and suggestions, and you know, refused to let me like get gotcha'd against him, which, I mean, not a lot of people in a tournament setting. A lot of people might actually do that a little bit, at least. That they're, you know, it's competitive play. So he was awesome. Definitely my favorite match of the tournament, for what it's worth. All my opponents were great, to be clear, but just want to give a huge shout out to my opponent. Gosh, orcs are just pure adrenaline the whole time, guys. Until someone gets tabled, it's just like all the pressure. Like, okay, 20 boys, and another 20 boys, and another 20 boys, and Gazgahal, and the flash gets, and more flash gets, and the tank busters, and trucks, and just total chaos and mayhem, which is so thematic. It's cool to see. And then suddenly he's just out of models, and it's like, oh, I guess I'll just like go and score a bunch of points because he's out of models. Like, at the end of the day, he didn't kill that many of my things, really. He killed the scouts and the incursors and the combi lieutenant, and I guess most of the Vulkan squad, and that was basically it. I guess a predator. It just felt like a whole lot more. It was just total madness, guys. So I you know, we won this. We escaped with, we just squeaked by, just barely squeaked by with a win. And I just need to play better than this. Keeping more things on the board to start with, just to be able to shoot more boys, would have been tremendously helpful. Even just one more tank to add redundancy after he passed his 9 invuln saves on his war boss. Another predator would probably still have finished him off, most likely. And then he wouldn't have been able to kill off Vulkan like he did. And Vulkan then would have been able to do more cool stuff, hopefully. Like, a lot of things would have been better if I just had more stuff on the board. Like the Infernus Marines also would have been really nice to have a second squad. I think we want to do that next time. Keep both of them in. Keep both those squads on the board. So I need to be better. Need to not just give him really easy charge distances to be able to hit all of his army like into my deployment zone turn 1. Just totally shocking, folks. But I'll play better because I have more experience now. I just haven't played against this aggressive of an army, like, basically ever. I think I'm 80 games in, and I'm still just like, yeah, haven't seen that before. So, with that being said, here's what's next, folks. We're facing the Shadow Legion, the new Demons detachment. That'll be my final report for this tournament for the RTT. We're in the quote-unquote finals. There are a lot of people in the finals. There's 8 undefeated players going into this round, and this guy went 5-1 in the last GT that we were at. So we just beat a guy who won a GT. That same GT, this player got 5-1 with Tzeentch Demons. Now he's playing Shadow Legion. It doesn't disappoint. It's crazy the whole time. So stay tuned for that, folks. And what's the next event? Well, the Rocky Mountain Open will be here very soon, folks. Very, very soon. When you watch this, it'll probably be on Wednesday or Thursday, and it'll be on that Saturday. So you can go find the link to that in the video description if you want to follow along with my results. And you know, as they're happening, I've also been trying to do better with my Instagram, slightly better, not all the way better, but, and then the big question mark is, will I be attending this GT in Albuquerque, New Mexico? Guys, if you are interested at all in assisting with that, so you can have some epic battle reports from a journey to, I have to drive there to Albuquerque. If you're interested in being part of that, please let me know. Reach out on Discord if you like, found in the video description. Would appreciate any support, of course, but I understand if not. So mostly I'm just appreciative that you guys have been watching these videos. And so just a reminder, it helps a ton to do the thumbs up button, subscribe, comment, all of those things to help us get more notice from the algorithm. Guys, I'm going to let you go here. Thank you all so much for watching. And remember that if you didn't hear it from me, well, it's probably heresy. Take care, folks.